My name is Markus K. I'm from Holland and I go by the name of Markus K. As a musician, I'm a musician. I call it blues fusion, which means that my inspiration comes mainly from the blues, but I mix it with lots of other influences from my whole life, listening to all the best musicians and the worst. And the last 4 years I started playing on the street, and that's been very exciting. And to be honest, I wish I'd started that much earlier, because it's a very direct way to connect with people. There are no politics involved. I find a nice place where I feel myself comfortable. I start playing and people who are interested will come and listen. And more and more I'm starting to make a living with this. People buy my albums, which is just a very pleasant thing, you know, to know that people like your music enough to go home with your album. That makes me feel very good. And I get a chance to travel all over the place. Like at the moment I'm in Gran Canaria, and I don't know whether we can show a little bit of the situation, but it's very beautiful here. So meeting interesting people, going to interesting places and doing what I want to do. So it doesn't get better than that. So people sometimes ask me, how does it work technically? I use a car battery for my power and an inverter, and with that I have 220 volts wherever I go. And this gives me the chance to work with an amplifier, and more than anything I use a looper for my music. And a looper is like an instant recording machine. You flick a switch with your foot and it records what you're playing, and it's usually like a 1 or 2 bars, very short, and then when you flick the switch again it repeats, and you'll hear that in my music a lot, where I start with either something on the guitar or something on the percussion I use, the wave drum, and then I build up a texture musically for my song, and on top of that I will then sing and play. So that's how it works technically. So this year, more than any, 2017, I've been traveling a lot through Europe, and mainly Spain, France, Switzerland, Hungary, I think it's pronounced, Romania. I spent 2 months in Romania, which was very pleasant there, and that seems to work really well. I like the fact that I'm going to these different places, and I have a group of people, a growing group of people via Facebook who are following what I'm doing, and they seem to be more interested in the more unusual locations. So I found that in Romania I was getting a lot of response from the people in Romania, because I'm not from Romania, and also from people from the US and the rest of Europe, because they might not have been to Romania. So that's something which I want to continue doing more, and at the moment my plan is to go to India first, because we're now in December and it's beautiful weather here in Gran Canaria, and in India it gets very hot in the summer. So in January I'm hoping to go to the southern part of India and then follow the climate up north as it gets warmer, and go to the major cities and then play on the street and show people what it's like in India, meet with people there, connect, also go to little villages and make it as interesting as possible. So a special thank you to the people who've been following me via Facebook and via YouTube and via my website with my newsletter, and it actually makes a big difference. When I'm, for instance, in Romania, I was in Bucharest, my passport had been stolen, and my credit cards had been stolen. I was stuck there for 2 weeks without money, and it was a good feeling that people were kind of supporting me from around the world, and that I didn't feel I was on my own. So this is all for you.